Lafaik and the Boy from Timor Leste. There was once a crocodile who had lived for many hundreds of years in a swamp whose great dream was to grow and reach a phenomenal size. Not only was he a small crocodile, but he also lived in a very confined space. A swamp, of course, is the worst possible place to live, with its shallow, stagnant water, ill-defined banks, and above all, lacking in food to tempt a crocodile. For all these reasons, the crocodile was sick and tired of the swamp, but he had nowhere else to live. Over the years, thousands of years it would seem, it was the crocodile's love of talking that kept him going. Whenever he was awake, he would talk and talk and talk. He would ask himself questions and then, as if he were somebody else, would answer them. Even so, when you talk to yourself like this for centuries, you begin to run out of topics of conversation. Not only this, but the crocodile was also getting hungry. Firstly, because there weren't enough fish or other creatures in the swamp to provide him with suitable meals. And secondly, because although they were tasty, tender animals to be caught, like goats, piglets, and dogs, they all lived a long, long way.
I'm sick of living on so little in a place like this,
he would exclaim in exasperation.
Be patient,
replied his imaginary companion.
But a crocodile can't live on patience,
he would grumble. There is, of course, a limit to everything, including resistance to hunger. The crocodile's body grew weak and his spirits sank. His eyes became dull, and he could hardly lift his head or open his mouth.
I must get out of here and look for food further afield.
With an effort, he climbed onto the bank and made his way through the mud and across the sand. The sun was high in the sky, scorching the ground. There was no refuge anywhere. The crocodile became weaker and weaker until he remained where he was, almost roasting alive. At that moment, a lively young boy passing by, humming to himself, said, "What's the matter, crocodile? You look in a very, very bad way. Have you broken your legs? Did something fall on you?"
No, I haven't broken anything. I'm all in one piece. It's just that, although I am small, I can't carry my own body anymore. I'm too weak even to find a way out of this sweltering heat.
The boy replied, "If that is your problem, I can help you." With that, he went up to the crocodile, picked him up, and carried him to the edge of the swamp. What the boy had failed to notice, as he carried him, however, was that the crocodile had perked up considerably. His eyes brightened, and he opened his mouth and ran his tongue round his saw-like teeth.
This boy must be tastier than anything I've ever eaten,
thought the crocodile, and imagined stunning the boy with a lash of its tail and then gobbling him up.
Don't be so ungrateful,
replied the other inner voice in himself.
That may be, but remember it's also shameful to betray a friend. This is the first friend you've ever had. So, you expect me to do nothing and just starve to death? The boy rescued you when you needed him. Now, if you want to survive, it's up to you to look for food. That's true.
So, when the boy placed him on the wet ground, the crocodile smiled, rolled his eyes and shook his tail and said,
"Thank you. You're the first friend I've ever had. I can't give you anything in return, but If you have never been further than the swamp that we see all around us and would like one day to travel abroad, to cross the sea, just come and see me.
Oh, I'd like that very much, because it's my dream to see what lies out there across the sea.
Dream? Did you say dream? I too have a dream,
replied the crocodile. They went their separate ways, the boy little suspecting that the crocodile had been attempted to eat him, which was just as well. Time passed, and one day the boy returned. He hardly recognized the crocodile. His burns had disappeared, and he looked plump and well fed. "Hello, crocodile, you look great. My dream hasn't gone away despite all my travels."
Well, a promise is a promise. I've been finding so much food that I'd almost forgotten our dreams. You did well to come and remind me of it, boy. Do you want to set off right now, across the wide open sea?
"That's the only thing I want to do, crocodile. Let's go."
I agree. Shall we set sail then?
They were both delighted with the arrangement. The boy settled himself on the crocodile's back, as if it were in a canoe, and they set off out to the sea. "It's all so big and beautiful," they both thought aloud. What astonished them most was the open space, the size of the vista that stretched away before and above them endlessly. Day and night, night and day, they never stopped sailing and barely rested. They saw islands so big and small, with trees and mountains and clouds. They could not say which one was more beautiful, the days or nights, the islands or the stars. They went on and on, always following the sun, until the crocodile finally grew tired.
Listen, boy, I just can't go on. My dream now is over. I think this is where I will rest, till the end of time. I love this place. It's so peaceful here.
"Mine will never be over." The boy was still speaking when the crocodile suddenly grew and grew in size until, still keeping its original shape, it turned into an island covered with hills, woods, and rivers. The boy bid goodbye to his friend Lafaik the crocodile and carried on in his journey. And now we know why Timor Leste is the shape of a crocodile. Lafaik is resting peacefully in a place he called his own.